Randy Robison at Life Today TV. I have with me tonight Abby Johnson. She is the author of the book Unplanned, and she was a clinic director at Planned Parenthood. Now she is an outspoken pro-life advocate. So thank you for being with me.
Thank you for having me.
How do you go from being what they call pro-choice and not just pro-choice and kind of outlook, but someone who is actively working in the abortion industry, to being on the other side fighting against women's rights?
Well, I got to witness a live ultrasound-guided abortion procedure in my clinic, which is something that is not standard protocol for Planned Parenthood because, one, it takes a little extra time, and two, it exposes their lie. Planned Parenthood wants these women to believe that it's not a baby and that it's not a living human being and that it's just a mass of tissue and that this child doesn't feel anything. And so they don't want people to actually be able to see the abortion when it's taking place. But I got to watch one, and I saw this 13-week-old child in the womb fighting and struggling to move away from the abortion instrument. And I got to see the humanity of that child, something that I had never seen before. And I knew after seeing that I had experienced a truth that I never had before, and that I had to leave, that I could no longer justify my sin of, being in the abortion industry, or that, it's really good for women to have legal abortion. I could no longer justify that anymore.
Yeah. Now you are working on some legislation, working on different efforts to change some laws. What specifically are you working on?
I work with Americans United for Life, and we work on federal and state legislation. And right now, we're in a very heated battle in Texas. Our governor is standing up and standing against Planned Parenthood and standing up to Obama. And Obama has made it clear to women in Texas, particularly low-income women in Texas, that he is not really concerned about their health care, or he is not concerned about their health, but he is concerned about padding the pockets of Planned Parenthood. And he has pulled a funding program for low-income women just because we voted not to allow Planned Parenthood to receive the funds in Texas.
Well, now, who else would do that? Is there not someone else that could step in and provide non-abortive services?
Absolutely. In the state of Texas, there are over 2,500 providers of the Women's Health Program. Only 44 of those 2,500 are Planned Parenthood clinics. So there are 2,500 other places that women can go, not just for limited care like Planned Parenthood provides, but for comprehensive care.
I read in my newspaper that if Planned Parenthood didn't provide their services, then women would not have health services.
Right, and that's what Planned Parenthood wants the American population to believe. They want these women to believe that Planned Parenthood is their only option. But we know that's not true. I mean, the numbers don't lie. 2,500 just in the state of Texas.
Are you just angry against Planned Parenthood for some reason? Are you just out to get them?
No, I'm not angry at Planned Parenthood. I'm not angry at the workers. In fact, I started a ministry called And Then There Were None, and we are proactively reaching out to people that are inside the abortion industry, clinic workers, and trying to help them understand that there is a way out and that they are not trapped in the abortion business. And in just the past 3 months since the ministry has been up and going, we've had 15 abortion clinic workers leave their jobs. So no, I'm not angry with them. I used to be one of them, and I have a lot of compassion. I understand that they believe they're doing the right thing and that they are justifying their actions. And for me, after being there for 8 years, I became a professional at rationalizing what I was doing and the wrongs that I was committing.
So if someone is watching this and they work in the abortion industry, whether it's Planned Parenthood or another similar type setup, or they know someone, they've got a loved one, a brother, sister, friend, whatever, who works there, what do you say to them?
Basically, I look at these people. We've had men and women that have left the abortion clinic industry, and You know, when I talk to a clinic worker, I look at them and I say, I know that your intentions are good. I know that you have a good heart. I just know that you have somehow been misguided. Nobody grows up wanting to work in the abortion industry, just like nobody grows up wanting to have an abortion. But it is a series of choices that they have made that have led them into that clinic. But there is hope, and there is a way to get out, and they can turn away from that lifestyle. And it really is a lifestyle. Living the pro-choice, living that image is a lifestyle. And I tell them that I know their heart is good. I know their intentions are good. And my prayer for them is that one day they will be able to take that good and take those good intentions and bring them over to this side of the fence where we really are truly caring for women and their children.
I have had 4 kids. I have 4 teenagers at home. We had a sonogram with every one of them, multiple with one of them because we thought there might be an issue. Why do you think so many people are fighting for women to just have a sonogram to see what's inside them?
Well, we know that in the pregnancy centers, 85%, on average, 85% of women will choose life. And these are women that had abortion appointments, or they were contemplating abortion. They were abortion-minded. But 85% of the time, they will change their mind and choose life if they can just see that living person growing inside of them. And so sonogram legislation, ultrasounds before an abortion, it's vital. It's vital for these women to be able to say, and you know what, it's not like we're asking for some type of weird standard of care. That's just normal standard of care to be able to see your body and what's about to take place to your body. Abortion is the most common surgical procedure in our country. So if people are truly pro-choice, why wouldn't they want these women to have full consent of what they're doing?
Well, and science and knowledge are big, supposedly, pillars of the left. To me, when you use science to give the woman knowledge of what's going on with her own body and then let her make a free choice,
right?
Why does that seem to be rejected? Is there some other motive going on?
Well, in the abortion industry, the motive is money. And they are driven by their bottom line. And, you know, just in 2010, Planned Parenthood received $487 million of taxpayer money. That's our money that's going to them, that is helping free up funds so that they can perform abortions.
But it's not going towards abortion, we always say.
Right.
Taxpayer money does not go towards abortions at Planned Parenthood.
Well, okay, that's partially, there's a two-part there. One is that all of the money that is received with Planned Parenthood goes into their general operating fund. It is not earmarked for abortion. It is not separated out in 2 different accounts. All of that money goes into one pot and helps them advance their abortion agenda. The other part of that is that as long as we have Hyde exceptions, everybody's familiar with the Hyde Amendment, as long as we have those amendment exceptions, we will always be paying for abortion because the Hyde Amendment exception allows for abortion in cases of rape, incest, and health of the mother. And as long as we have that in place, the taxpayer, we are paying for abortions, and we're paying for abortions of children that are no less children than anyone else.
So, but how does a government come in and say you've been raped or a victim of incest, therefore you can't get an abortion? Or, you know, I mean, most people actually flinch at that, even the pro-lifers.
Yeah, there are a lot that do. But I think that if we are going to say that we are truly pro-woman, and we look at this from a pro-woman viewpoint, because we have to save the mother first before she will save her child. But if we look at the studies, we actually see that women who are sexually assaulted and conceive from that sexual assault, studies show that if they will choose to parent or if they will choose adoption, they actually fare much better than those women that choose abortion. And that makes sense because the sexual assault, that trauma creates an open wound that sometimes takes their whole life to heal. And so they think, oh no, now I have this other problem on top of this wound, and so I'm gonna go have an abortion and then I can start healing. But what it does is it actually re-victimizes that woman, and it re-traumatizes her, and it causes yet another open wound. So now instead of just healing from one traumatic event, she's having to heal from two. So if we are pro-woman, if we do care about women, then we would want them to choose what's going to be best for them.
Would you want them to choose, or would you want to choose for them? In other words, would you outlaw abortion in all cases?
Yes, I would. I would outlaw abortion, but the goal is not just to make abortion illegal, but to also make it unthinkable. That's the goal. We are fighting so hard to change laws, but what we have to remember, and those are important, laws are important. I believe that laws set up the moral standard in our country, but I believe that we have to look at each case, we have to look at each woman, and we have to meet them where they are. Many women say, I can't have this baby because I don't have X, Y, and Z. Well, then we need to provide that X, Y, and Z. We need to help her get rid of those reasons why she needs to abort.
Yeah, adoption's always a good option. I can say that because I'm adopted.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
it worked out okay. So think about that. If someone wants to learn more about you, learn more about your activities, support what you're doing,
yes,
or maybe contact you if they're working in the abortion industry and say, hey, help me out.
Yeah.
Where can they get a hold of you?
They can go to, the easiest place is to go to my website. It is www.abbyjohnson.org.
Okay, great. Check it out, and be sure to check out Abby. You'll hear more about her story. She told a little bit of it up here, but you can hear more of it at Life Today. That's at lifetoday.org. Thanks again.